Small cars aren't as little as they used to be. With more room on the inside, space is cleverly adapted and families can fit. They also make excellent second cars and are really good if you're driving on narrow roads. This week I'm in the Ford Focus ST line, which is smack bang in the middle of the range. It competes with cars like the Mazda 3, the Hyundai i30 and the Toyota Corolla. All great cars. Does the Ford have what it takes to compete in this category? I drove it with my family for 7 days to find out. So this 2019 model is a new generation Ford Focus, and I wouldn't even have picked it for a Ford, to be honest. It looks completely different. It's been totally overhauled. It's slicker, it's sleeker, it's chicer, it's just more modern. Inside too has had quite the makeover, and even though I'm in the middle of the range car, I still feel really good in here. There are fabric seats which are comfortable to sit on, and you get a leather steering wheel which actually has a flat bottom, so that's like some of the German models, my favourite shaped steering wheel. Plus, you actually even get a circular gear stick, which, can I just say, is just like Land Rover uses, so go Ford. It actually looks more expensive than it is. This car's entry price point is $28,990, which is a little bit high in the category, but looks-wise, I think it's worth it. In here, you will get 2 cup holders, which are a good size. Plus you get a spot especially designed for your phone. It's got a non-slip surface so it won't slide around when you're turning corners. You get another little spot here, and you get a center storage bin, fairly decent size for a small car, plus there's a bottle holder in each door. Space-wise, it's a bit roomier than the previous model. I had plenty of leg and head space, and even my taller husband had no issues fitting in. Sometimes he can look a bit oversized in smaller cars, but not so in the Focus. In the back seat, my 2 children aged 5 and 7 fit really nicely. Yes, there were little feet that touched the seat in front of them, but still they were comfortable, they were happy. I had no complaints all week. I also did manage to fit a 3rd child seat in here. It was a baby capsule in between 2 booster seats, but I do think if you're doing it every day, get prepared to be hot and sweaty doing those seat belts up. There are no air vents back here, which is standard across the category, and you do get a nice airflow from the front because it is a small car. You get pockets on the back of the front seats, but you won't get any cup holders. This boot easily fits a pram, which is always a joyous moment in a small car. It's a particularly bulky pram, and it won't fit in some small SUVs like the Mazda CX-3, for example. So the fact that it fits in here is great. And there's even space around it, so you'll be able to chuck groceries in there, school bags on top, whatever you need. Driving a Ford Focus is pretty easygoing. I mean, you get in, you zip around, there's really nothing to worry about in here. It's got a 1.5 litre turbo engine, which is enough to get you up hills really easily and also to swing along highways. It's a 3-cylinder, but it actually has as much power as a 4-cylinder, and it shifts down to 2 cylinders when you don't need the extra push, so it saves on petrol as well. Fuel consumption is a claimed 6.4 litres for every 100 k's. Because of the size, it's a pretty nifty car to do the school run in, and the turning circle is a lot smaller than the larger SUVs I've been testing, which always amazes me as to how much that actually affects my day-to-day life. Makes things so much easier. Like, I can do U-turns, I can fit into parks, and you know, it's all a breeze, which is fantastic. It's got a reverse parking camera. It's not a particularly fancy one, but you can see what's behind you, and that's what counts. Safety-wise, it has airbags for driver and front passenger, plus side curtain airbags that extend to the back row. You'll also get newer safety equipment like auto emergency braking that has pedestrian and cyclist detection, and things like forward collision warnings. But to get blind spot monitoring or rear-cross traffic alerts, you will have to buy the safety pack, which is $1,250, but you'll get things like adaptive cruise control as well. There are 2 ISOFIX points and 3 top tether points for kids' car seats. As far as technology goes, you can plug in your phone for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's just the easiest technology because you don't need a bachelor's degree to figure out the tech. So you just plug it in and your phone's main apps appear on the 8-inch touchscreen. You can use maps, you can play music through Spotify, you can even make phone calls and send texts using voice control. While the Ford Focus might not instantly come to mind as a family car, it actually works quite nicely. Sure, there is not as much space as an SUV, but there is enough space to get by. You can fit a pram, the kids are comfortable, it drives really well, and the new design on this Ford Focus is fantastic. And as a second car, it's spot on. I gave it a family rating of 7.5 out of 10. My children also gave it a 7.5. I think they liked being able to reach everything.